John's just retired from astronautics. He was one of the last men to make a moonwalk. John, are you all right, son? You're white as a sheet and you're trembling.
Nothing I can do. It's happening again. I'm changing.
And in several seconds, we see before us a man-wolf. It runs through the darkness as it hunts its quarry. And that quarry is man. The mark of the man-wolf. A man-wolf.
Hello, and welcome to the Werewolf by Night podcast. This season, we're talking about Marvel's number 2 lycanthrope, John Jameson, a.k.a. the Moon-Rot Man-Wolf, Old Lobo, the Furry Freak, Night Brute, Fang Snout, and finally, the Cosmic Star God. I'm your co-host, Matt Howell.
I'm your other host, Jacob Balkan.
Thanks for joining us this week, listeners. We've got kind of a fun little break here. We went back and forth about whether or not to even schedule this one because it basically sets up a man-wolf appearance, but he does appear in it. And I said, let's do it like a water cracker, like a palate cleanser. After the fun space adventures in the other realm, that epic ending, I thought it'd be nice to kind of just, I don't know, eat some Reese's Pieces and drink a Schlitz and wash out all that goodness. And,
well, that's what these Marvel team-up issues will do, so that's a perfect call.
But before we get into the Marvel team-up deal, let's talk about you and your recent appearance on another podcast. You were just on, this week published was a new episode of Across the Bifrost, or Bifrost.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Oh, it was a lot of fun. So Brian Does, who does the Across the Bifrost, so he had me on there to talk about the Jason Aaron Thor, the Jane Foster becomes Thor, the Goddess of Thunder run of Jason Aaron's, and it was a lot of fun. It was I just could hear you in the back of my mind because when we finished the whole thing, I was like, okay, we'll keep it short. We'll keep it short. It was almost 2 hours. And most of this guy's shows, they're like 40 minutes. And so I was like, man, I did it again. But we had a really good time talking. And we talked a lot about, how great Jason Aaron's Thor run is, my history with the character of Thor. I don't know if I told you this, but I must have told you this. So, my first issue of Thor was 337, Walt Simonson's first issue with Beta Ray Bill smashing the Thor logo.
Yes, sir.
So I was telling him that for me to think of Jane Foster taking up the mantle of Thor, it's baked into me not to have a problem with that because my first issue is Thor basically not being worthy and Beta Ray Bill picking up the hammer at the end of the issue. And so by my experience with Thor, I'm just like, that just my little kid brain was just like, that's what happens, right? There's a new Thor like every once in a while, and so so it was fun. We got to poke fun at some Comicsgate folks and their opinions of a Lady Thor, so no, it was a really really fun conversation.
Yeah, people should check that out. I went on to Twitter and tweeted out a link to that, and Ryan also posted some on Instagram. He's not active on Twitter. He has an account, but he hasn't used it in like a year. Yeah, so check that out. I'm going to. I haven't had a chance to yet, but
really, you're going to listen to it?
2 hours?
It's like an hour and 40 minutes.
Yeah. No, I'm going to listen to it. Why do you sound all incredulous?
Because you don't listen to comic podcasts.
I started listening to Marvel by the Month.
Oh, that's right. Okay, that's not technically true since now, because we're both patrons of Marvel by the Month now. They just put up their live episode with Chelsea Kane that they did.
I know they just put out part 2 for, I was all about listening to Proust on tape, and then you came in with this wham, bam, plam, bammo.
Yeah, that was me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you listen to Marvel by the Month, you got to listen to Screw It, We're Just going to talk about comics too. You got to listen to the Hines Brothers one.
This is that whole give them an inch thing, see?
Well, I'm just saying, just listen to those 2. Those are the ones that I listen to the most.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we are talking about Marvel Team Up, and this issue is 36. It was cover dated August of 75, and I had to look it up. This came out between Creatures on the Loose 36 in July and Creatures on the Loose 37 in September. So literally sandwiched between the two Star God stories was this. Weird.
It's really weird. And like you said, this issue is the very definition of slight. There's going to be lots of asides. There's going to be lots of us trying to stay interested by any means necessary. So if that's your type of show, you're in for a treat.
I think they'll be amused because I amused myself while reading through it the second time. The first time I was rolling my eyes. You could blocks away, you could hear my eyes rolling. But this second time through, I was like, okay, this is actually kind of fun.
I know. I kind of had the same. I actually had the same experience.
Old man Balkan.
Yep, I know. Yeah, so this cover is, the cover's great, kind of. Like, it's not the greatest, but it's, pencils by Ron Wilson, inks by Mike Esposito. Yeah. Spider-Man says, "Not if I cream you first," patches, which, I love that. No, so it's Spider-Man and Frankenstein fighting. Frankenstein is saying, "You attacked me and now you will die." And then that's when Spider-Man says, "Not if I cream you first, patches."
When did patches come up? When did Jerry Conway say patches?
Jerry Conway. Has any other Marvel writer made up so many cheesy nicknames?
No.
Love you, Jerry.
Are we still did we decide last time to switch pages?
No.
Did I make that up?
Yeah, you made that up.
Okay. I took notes in the normal way, but once you started describing the cover, I was like, oh shit, is this the week we started that? I thought we were going to switch it up for a while.
Nope. That was just me stepping on your feet.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Being really excited.
No, you're fine. There were a couple points in this issue where I was wondering, like, okay, when did Frankenstein's title start? I felt like he was one of the later editions, so he must have been like 73 or something.
Yeah, it was during Werewolf by Night run, and Plug is doing. Plug, I think, left to do Frankenstein's monster, if I was correct.
Misstep. Okay, so we get a bit of a recap in here, but I had some strange questions. So my first question was, where the hell are we? Like this, I like this layout and all, but like Spidey is clinging to something that looked like an archway, but it's solid. And then the Frankenstein monster is bursting off of a science-y table.
Yeah,
what's behind that? What's going on?
It looks like it takes place on a roof.
Yes, that's what I thought.
All this is this, and I'm just like, oh, so this is like a New York roof, but I'm like, but there's a torch on the side of the wall, and science-y table. No, this is a very unfinished cover in a lot of ways. It seems like the titles, and Marvel Team Up always has huge titles because it has to be Spider-Man, the Frankenstein monster, and Marvel Team Up all taking up the first, easily the third of the page.
Which is weird, because this is what sticks up above the newsstand rack.
Yeah, I know.
So why do they have such awesome covers sometimes when you can't even see them?
I know.
But you were wondering, is this New York City rooftops? No, it's Bedlam in the Balkans.
Yes.
We're going back.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
I'm totally ready. All right. So our opening page title of the story, and here is Once Upon a Time in a Castle. So our creators are Jerry Conway, author, Sal Buscema, artist, Vinnie Coletta, embellisher, Charlotte Jeter, letterer, Al Wenzel is the colorist, and Len Wein is the editor. So I don't think we've seen Al Wenzel's name yet in our travels.
No.
And so he was so his first comic credit was in 1947, doing pencils on a Superboy story. And you know who did the inks for that story?
Who? George
Russo.
Really?
Pretty fucking cool. Yeah, Wenzel worked all through the Golden Age. He actually ghosted for Eisner on the Spirit, like newspaper strip.
Wow.
He did tons of cool shit. Worked with Lev Gleason for Crime Does Not Pay. And then he moved over to newspaper strip work for years.
So is this the end of his career?
This is definitely the end of his career. Okay. So he's he's really slowed down by the mid 70s here. And now he's just kind of doing the odd coloring job at Marvel, like kind of on books like Defenders and Jungle Action and this issue of Marvel Team Up.
What's Jungle Action? Was that a reprint book that turned into like Kazar or something?
No, I mean, no, Jungle Action. I have I mean, that's a Golden Age title for Marvel, honestly.
Okay.
Like I have 2 Atlas era books of Jungle Action.
Okay. Is it an anthology? Like
Yeah.
just okay.
Yeah, it was an anthology. But I think at this point, yeah.
People
I
love
don't know what it
jungles that
was.
much?
Yeah. No, I mean, I thought it was different in the 70s. I thought they kind of switched it up.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know it at all. So is it just me, or I thought that Shooter was EIC at this point?
No. This is only 75, but in the Marvel premieres that are in 78.
Oh, the premieres jumped forward 3 years.
Yeah,
That's right.
yeah.
Okay.
I think he came on in 78.
Okay. There's some nice big pictures in this book.
Yeah. It's very Spidey super stories in a lot of ways, and we
Yeah.
always say that as a negative thing.
Pejorative.
Yes. So this is a full page illustration of Spidey swinging down on a group of thugs running out of the National Savings Bank. And they, this is very typical of Conway's Spider-Man. And the thugs are running out. One of them says, "That's what I call a real neat job, Benny. Nice and clean. No female tellers screaming their heads off. No stupid watchmen playing heroes. And best of all, no cops. Yeah, real neat. A regular piece of cake." And then there's a little kind of narration box that says, "Oh yeah, handsome." And yeah, Spidey's swinging down. He's already webbed one of their guns. And there's a confusing advertisement behind it that says "Drink Blap," BLAP. I won't
We
lie.
want
I
our
looked it
soda
up.
to sound like a wet fart. Like you thought it was just a fart, but it's actually diarrhea. Oh,
Like-
Blap. No, I love Blap.
Like, that's really funny.
I can go for Blap right now.
Yeah. Oh man, that has to be a sponsor of the show for sure.
That's worse than Grepsy, like Mad Magazine or Cracked, whatever that was.
Drink Blap. Yeah, that was so that's my favorite part of this opening page. It's all pretty pedestrian aside from that.
I like this explosive title up on top. Once upon a time in a castle. I love those periods that are like I-beam, like they're like half the size of the letters.
It's so
And
cool.
the lettering choice in the castle was just so mod. Like, I don't know. I love that font, that hand-drawn font.
Well, Charlotte Jetter is a name that keeps coming up, and every time we're like, "Oh, the letters are so great in this issue." Like a lot of the times, she's done them.
Yeah.
I've
That's
noticed
good.
that's the pattern that we've hit in this second season with Charlotte Jetter. Yeah, it's kind of like how we kept coming back to Petra Goldberg as colorist in the Werewolf by Night stuff, and so yeah, but Charlotte's getting my vote for the MVP of this run.
Oh, totally. So yeah, this is a familiar scene here. Spidey handily dropping in to take care of these two dinglings. And then we get on page 2. First of all, there's distinct Buscema faces. I don't know about you, but when I was a kid, I did not care for Sal's work. I liked his brother's work,
Yes.
but whenever I would pick up like a Peter Parker Spectacular or Spider-Man or something like that, and it was him guesting on, I was like, damn
I
it.
thought he was the main artist on that for years.
He probably was, and I just forgot or didn't buy
Yeah.
it until it crossed over into some other storyline that ran through all the titles. I don't know.
Yeah,
But-
I know. I'm the same way. I mean, he had a huge career illustrating Hulk, and I think Sal's great, but he's not one of my favorites. And
Well-
has that thing. I mean, he's the younger brother of John. Like, he's never going to measure up to John.
Yeah, but I'm just like, my point was like, that was my initial response, like in the 90s or something like that, picking up something. But I don't know, man. Like over the years, he's really grown on me, like in the background. Like just every time I look at him now, I'm kind of like, oh, good old Sal. Like,
No, he does a great job, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been super drawn to his work. But
Yeah.
I mean, he does great work. It's just not anything that's personally resonated with me like his brother
Yeah.
or like other
okay.
artists. Yeah, I mean, he's no Herb Trimpe. I mean, I don't actively dislike most of his art. So
well, so how'd you feel about the pairing of Sal and Vinny here?
oh, it's
art duties?
okay. I think the faces suffer.
Yeah, Spider-Man looks more like a something you'd win at the fair, like a version of Spider-Man than an actual human being in a lot of this.
Yep. He's like a bootleg version of Spider-Man that you'd see at the fair in a
Yeah.
Spider-Man book.
Yes, definitely.
And I think we have Vinny to thank for that.
I do too. So we get more of this same shit. So if you guys remember back in giant size superheroes #1, when we had it was like our 3rd episode, I think, of the season, we had Brad on, and he was going off about, oh, Spider-Man's a narc, because these robbers were like, hey man, why are you busting me? I'm a symptom of the disease, man.
Yeah.
Just why don't you go, whatever. So we got more of the same shit. Like, they're hassling Spider-Man, who's stopping them from robbing a bank that is insured. I understand that. I don't care. Like, solve the big problem, leave the little guy alone bullshit. So, just remember that Peter Parker barely makes rent.
He does.
So
yeah,
to suggest that he solved the root of I don't know, income inequality in the world, it's a little silly.
So did you, okay, so on the bottom panel, Spider-Man punches a guy, we get a bomb, and it basically punches a trash can into the guy's midsection.
Mm-hmm.
And he says, a street fight, encounter style. Encounter is in quotes.
Yeah, I had to look that up because I knew it, but I was like, oh, is this what I'm thinking it is?
I didn't really kind of understand what it was. I didn't. So what is this? I was going to ask if you knew.
So it was a hip 60s pop psychology thing that had a resurgence in the mid 70s. I'm trying to look it up. Let's see. The encounter group movement. So it was coercive, like kind of like aggressive, psychological, like conflict resolution stuff.
Okay, that makes sense, because in the next page he says, "I'll just work off my aggressions alone."
Yeah,
instead of in a group. So kind of like primal scream therapy, or
that
like
same kind of vibe, but more like rooted in like the problems that people have in their interpersonal relationships are caused by not expressing or venting or having a cathartic experience with the emotional stuff that's subdued and sublimated.
So tell it to me in Simpsons. Is it more Brad Goodman or movementarians?
Brad Goodman.
You think so? Even remember in the movementarians episode where they all start insulting each other?
Yeah. This one seemed like it was more like, again, I'm just going from vague memories of like just reading about it here and there over the years. It felt like it was more like an intervention, like an emotional intervention, but with like an aggressive, like I need statements and like this weird, I don't know. I'm honestly, I'm pulling off of old memories.
We like Roy.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
We like Roy. So that crap has continued, and he makes a reference to something that was hip at the moment as he's punching a wastebasket into this dude, probably breaking every rib in his torso.
Yep. Kind of just a cookie cutter page in a lot of ways. Same thing with the next page. Spidey's quipping his little heart out, and he's I like how I mean, this might as well be the Shooter era, because I like in the second panel of the third page, he says right before he gets zapped off screen, he says, "Not so long as I have the agility of a spider, Hermie. No one's going to blast your friendly neighborhood." And it's just like, why? I mean, I guess this is the kids' Spider-Man title at the time. Spidey Super Stories, which was a Electric Company tie-in, if I'm correct, was not had not happened yet.
No.
So there wasn't a Spider-Man title for little babies yet.
Not for, I think, 2 or 3 years, yeah.
Yeah. So I think, and that's what those are some of the earliest comics I remember reading.
Yeah, and I honestly am wondering, is this a reaction to what's been going on to Conway's main work on the main book of like, there was a, similar people bitched when Sopranos became the most popular show on television. Like, well, what was with all these shows with their continuity? Like, you know what I mean? Like now he's got a dead girlfriend and now she's a clone and blah. Like, why can't my son just pick up your comic and just have a fun adventure? I think that's what this was supposed to be, because it started in 72 when the long form storytelling, the truly like heavy serialized, there'd be arcs.
Didn't Jerry Conway write like most of these issues, or even the early ones? I thought like it's his book.
Yeah, but I think it's an assignment.
Okay, so it's him just being like, okay, fine, I'm doing this other thing. You'll get to see your precious Spider-Man
I would love to know,
teaming up with other people. Yeah, you're right. No, that does sound like it. I'll try and see. I'm sure Back Issue did, or Alter Ego did some kind of article on Marvel Team Up at some point. So I'll look through my issues.
I could also just tweet at him and ask him.
Oh yeah, well,
was Marvel Team Up started as a cure for, you know, the continuity work you were doing in ASM at the time?
Well, yeah, that's worked real well in the past. He's been so engaging with us. Even though we did a fucking radio show of his his horror magazine. But that's cool. No, it's fine.
Yeah, so he gets zapped.
Yeah, he gets zapped, falls to the ground. The thugs are like, "I'm getting out of here." And then I love we get Jerry basically talking to us. It's like, all right, we admit it. This is in the narration. We haven't been playing fair, starting our story with a bang instead of a nice, safe lump of exposition. In a matter of moments, though, things will be explained, more or less. Meanwhile, be patient and try to imagine what thoughts are going through our unconscious hero's mind as he drifts between light and dark and eventually, predictably, passes out.
I love how those two panels, it's like it's pushing in slowly on unconscious Peter Parker on the sidewalk. And he still looks like a Mexican Kmart Spider-Man. I don't know how Sal and Vince did this, but he looks like not Spider-Man.
No, he looks more and more fake as the issue goes on.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of trippy.
But this interaction, like the two, bank robbers are messing with him and he gets zapped from a third party. And like, what? Was that you? Was that you, Benny? No, it came from out of nowhere. Like, I'm getting out of here. And they split up opposite directions. It felt to me like the house band to start playing then. And then Marsha Brady walks out and says, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Mr. Paul Williams. And you just hear the guitar start playing. Like, it felt like the Spider-Man, like a variety hour or something. We're out of here.
This is a Smile Time variety hour. Harvey Korman just came in to guest on a sketch, and now it's time for Paul Williams to be coked up and start playing a song.
It is so broad. This whole issue is so broad.
It's as broad as Marvel gets, and that is saying something. So
we get another page filler splash page as Spidey's coming to consciousness on a table, saying, "Oh, where?" And then we get a huge splash of he and the Frankenstein monster both strapped to science-y tables inside a castle. And Spider-Man says, what the? Is somebody kidding me? Or have I just flipped? So he's like, hey, just like minutes ago, I was on a New York City street and now I'm in a kooky castle. And it's like an escapee from the Late Show. And then the monster that he's looking at and kind of, as he talks to himself, says, I have not escaped. I am a prisoner like you. I had to that was me speeding up. Like when I read this to myself out loud, he was like an ent. Like it was like so slow, it was painful.
Your Frankenstein voice is really good, by the way.
So this is the Frankenstein monster who technically first appeared in X-Men and then got his own book like 4 years later. Do you know the X-Men? What was that first appearance like in 68 or 69?
I can't remember, but I know I have it in a Masterworks.
So do you think it was?
Well, the Marvel by the Month guys talked about it not too long ago, so it must have been 68.
Was it? It's weird because Marvel did two things at once. Like when they introduced him during the monster boom of 73 or 74, whenever it was a later one. They started off just retelling Shelley's story, and then they stuck with like the Gothic setting. And then maybe sales weren't great. And then they just somehow sent him into the modern time and let him talk to Spider-Man and shit. So and gave him his voice box back.
Well, we get a bit of that in this issue where we see that he was preserved in chemicals and then was accidentally woken up, which is,
I didn't even read that far. I have the collection. I've never even read it that far. Anyway,
no, this is a serviceable page. Again, Sal and Vinny are just art-wise are not doing it for me. This issue, it's rough. It's very rough. What do you think of Frankenstein, though? What do you think of the monster?
The creature, the monster, I think looks great. And whenever they draw him, it looks like I'm assuming Vinny was looking at a particular actor on his TV, like at that time. Like there's like, oh, well, that's clearly a Martin Landau, and okay, that's clearly whatever, Chad Everett, and that's like just random faces that he's drawing. I love about the Frankenstein monster, I love that he has a fur, like caveman / biker / hippie biker vest.
But that's the character design. That's Plug, if I'm correct.
I believe so. I just love
Yeah.
it. It's literally my favorite part
It's
about
amazing.
him, which is saying I don't love him that much.
No, it is easily the best thing about him, and I'm pretty sure we have Plug to thank for that.
Yeah.
So yeah, on the next page, yeah, Spider-Man replies, he's like, sure, a prisoner, that makes sense. A guy falls down in the gutter and he wakes up in a nut house. He should be kind of like, have a cigar. This is a very, I don't know.
So wouldn't he assume this is Mysterio after how many years of capering and dealing with this guy? Like it's got Hollywood trappings and sorry. Please.
Yeah, no, I know. And so he's like, yeah, a guy falls down in the gutter and he wakes up in a nut house. Happens all the time, huh? And off panel, it's indeed it does, Spider-Man.
Oh,
more
no,
often
I'm going to
than
need
you
an
know.
accent, my friend.
Yeah.
I need a voice befitting Baron Ludwig von Shtupf.
So it's Baron Ludwig von Shtupf.
That's perfect.
And it's
give me a little
man.
bit. You don't have to do the whole thing that way, but at least his first word balloon has to be in that accent, please.
Oh man, I don't know if I can. But
I'm going to punch it in myself.
Okay, good. I like that he says, frequently a harsh and imbecilic world punishes those who would be different by naming them insane. So I like kind of he has, up until he gives his big, introduction, he seems like he might be kind of cool and have some, interesting things to say about people who are mentally ill and everything.
He's got a turtleneck. I mean, I'm willing to listen.
I did. I was totally willing to listen. But Spider-Man's like, don't tell me you're the local mad scientist. He's like, your humor fails to impress me, Spider-Man. As for my identity.
No accent on that. That's one sentence.
I am Baron Ludwig von Shtupf. But you may call me the Monster Maker. And he is... Yeah, he's gone from like kind of cool guy to just fucking ridiculous. And he's like, you call me the Monster Maker. Almost everyone does, And Spider-Man's like, buddy, what I'd like to call you couldn't be printed. And he busts out of his bonds and kicks him right in the
bread basket.
Brian, the bread basket gets a lot of work this issue. Do you think this is a certain like layout or design thing that Sal is just really comfortable with just people getting punched or kicked in the bread basket?
Those are like the best panels of this thing, though.
They are. I mean, maybe it is his strength. You're right. Maybe it's Sal just being like, I got to do some cool shit.
So I have some questions. Oh, sorry.
I'm ready. No, I'm ready for your questions.
Did I cut you off? You were going to describe the last panel there about his landing?
No,
I don't know.
No,
okay.
There's nothing interesting about that last panel.
So in the second panel, this character enters and he has a green turtleneck on, a wrestler belt on or back brace, and yellow gloves. So is that meant to suggest Hydra, or is that just like, I mean, Hydra is always associated with like Northern European Teutonic.
Oh, you're giving this comic way more credit than it deserves.
What about the character reveal later? Doesn't that make it suggest Hydra more?
Well, no, that's true. You're right.
I haven't read ahead. I hope you haven't.
What? Of course I've read ahead.
You read the next issue?
Oh, no, not the next issue.
Oh, okay.
I was like, I've read the next page. I kind of prepared.
Oh, my God. Okay.
You didn't? That's weird.
So my first thoughts, I'm looking at my notes.
Okay.
This is the Monster Maker's first appearance?
And this is his only appearance, is in these two. I know. Yeah, such an established Marvel villain. No, he is in 2 issues, these 2 issues of Marvel Team Up.
Oh. That's just fuel. It's just okay. So we have to describe this guy because when he walks through the door, he's a lot to take in. Like
he's
I said, green turtleneck, but he also has a big billy goat beard with a finely trimmed mustache, a severe like stabbing danger widow's peak, bald sides, and then like Frasier mullet in the back. And
it's a lot.
And monocle to top the whole thing off.
Oh man. Yeah, I know. He is a lot. He's a lot to take in, and it is kind of sad that this is the only time we get to see him.
He looks like he's waiting his turn at the Gaslight to do his poetry on like open mic night. Like just sitting there like angrily holding his notebook, rocking back and forth.
Oh man.
Very Venture Brothers.
Yeah,
villain.
he is very Venture Brothers.
Oh, Christ. Okay, so on the next page, Spidey says, hey, fun and games time is over, chum. You may not have heard, but I've got the proportionate strength of a spider, which means nothing like this is going to hold me. And he starts like flexing his muscles on the table and wrench for long as the bonds explode. There's some really fun explosive-y, like on the page when Spidey got zapped by the unknown force, there's this huge starburst with washes of green and yellow. So cool. Like,
it is really cool looking. You're right.
Some of these action stills, even though they're not like great art-wise technically, like they're really engaging dynamically and visually.
Mm-hmm.
So when he bursts off, there's another one of those where it's like, looks like a Hulk poster. And he just kind of lamely shoots webs up like in an arc, I guess. It just kind of goes up and arcs down and lands in a big bukkake pile on this guy and his henchmen, because you just see hands lamely kind of waving out of a pile of web fluid, which is not how any of this works.
No, it's not.
And I like that, like you were saying, the Jim Shooter kind of pre-shooter vibes, like I've got the proportionate strength and speed of a spider. Like, you're not supposed to say that out loud.
I think that, I almost feel like Conway got some kind of edict, and this is his like, fuck you then. I'm going to write, I'm going to write an issue. You say I need to write an issue for a 7-year-old. I'm going to write an issue for a 2-year-old.
Yeah. Like, it made it pretty fun.
It did make it pretty fun. But yeah, he just, I know, the explaining of his powers. He hasn't done that in a while.
Yeah. And so he hops over to Frankenstein monster's table, and he says, let's make good our escape here. Want to join me, handsome, or something like that? Oh, he says, like, well, handsome and I here make good our escape. And I was like, that he understands English. Like, he probably gets sarcasm. Consideration for his feelings at all? Hello? Yeah. He's made out of sewn together dead bodies.
He is.
And he hates himself.
Yeah.
And it was a whole thing. He lived in the hut of a blind man. Like he
smoked good.
It's sad. Yeah.
It is really sad.
He followed his creative father across the planet for a showdown to the death in the North Pole. Don't call him handsome with air quotes. That's fucking insulting.
What a dick.
I love you, Spidey, but fucking A. He says, but that's what I like. You're a man of few words. Come on, pal, let's move. They burst through. This last panel should be a poster. If I were 12.
I love that
10.
panel.
And I had a poster of the Frankenstein monster and Spider-Man leaping out directly at me through a castle wall with shattering glass flying at me. I would have had a brain boner forever.
Yeah, no, honestly, I think that's my favorite panel of the whole issue, because it's drawn like it's a poster.
It should have been the cover and every single panel for every page.
It would have been such a better issue.
All right, let's move on to chapter 2.
Yeah, chapter 2. I know we normally don't get chapter. Do we get chapter breaks in all of Marvel Team Up? Is it like a giant size?
I don't remember that with a Werewolf by Night. I don't remember that really.
No,
I thought that was just a straight issue.
Maybe, but yeah, it's cut into chapters, and this is chapter 2, The Cold Wind of Doom. So it's so yeah, kind of. There's a lot of exposition that kind of tells them where they're at. Now they're just in the snow. They're hiding behind like a rock outcropping where all these guys like go by on skis. And I like, my favorite part of this whole thing is that they're hiding and Spider-Man is whispering. We see that he's whispering. He's like, we're safe for the moment. I don't know how long that moment's going to last either. Maybe it's time you told me something about yourself, friend, and how you got into that castle. And then in the next panel, Frankenstein's like, tell? There's not much to tell. I am not a man like you. I am a monster. And you can tell that Spidey's like, shut the fuck up. Those guys are right there.
Modulation wasn't part of his restored voice box.
No, it wasn't. But I did just imagine him as Spidey is whispering as quietly as he can. Yeah, Frankenstein's monster is speaking at full volume.
Oh man.
And so he's like, yeah, I am a monster, Frankenstein's monster. Like Spidey's like, huh? Come again? Why don't you tell me about it? Frankenstein's monster. And then he says, it began long ago. And then we get the origin.
Oh my God. So this page, this is my favorite out of context splash page ever. Like if you just picked up a comic and you're just like opening it up and all you saw was the Frankenstein's monster and Spider-Man hiding behind rocks looking at men skiing in the Alps. I would say, I don't know what I would say. I mean, like this made me think of the Beatles' Help. So I was like, it should have been called A Ticket to Ride to Doom.
To Doom. Oh man. Yeah, you're right. It's just out of context. This would be the funniest page in existence.
Because it's still funny in context.
Oh, it's really funny in context.
Oh man. So lots of questions. When he says, I am a monster, Frankenstein's monster, and Spider-Man's Peter Parker is a pretty smart guy, says, huh? Come again?
What?
So, question. Does Mary Shelley's Frankenstein not exist in the 616 in the way it exists here? Or rather, does our world, do these two constructs not, does Frankenstein as a cultural construct not exist in the 616? Spider-Man seems to have never even heard of it.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure that Spider-Man has made like 1,000 Frankenstein jokes.
That's what my next question was hasn't he called people?
Yeah, he has
Boris
called people
Karloff and
Frankenstein before. He's called them Boris Karloff. He's called them Frankenstein.
Okay.
I guarantee you in this issue, there's going to be an ad for a 6-foot-tall Frankenstein that's basically just made out of rice paper when you get it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
no, Frankenstein exists in the 616. Spidey's just being either dumb or being like, okay, I have to move this along. So please tell me, I've never heard of Frankenstein before.
Okay. I was just confused. Like, I can't imagine that a little 10 or 12-year-old Peter Parker didn't sit in front of his parents or aunt and uncle's TV and watch Ghost of Frankenstein one Saturday afternoon in 1958.
You know he did.
Okay. So if not read the book, which Peter would have done. He was a bookworm. That's kind of famously
he had
what
glasses.
he was. So the next page I can just kind of blow by because we can just chalk it up to him saying Frankenstein. You've heard about how Frankenstein got made, and except that this is the Marvel kind of take that I believe was kind of retconned because again, the first 2 or 3 issues of the creature or monster of Frankenstein was just retelling pretty faithfully Shelley's story. Mm-hmm. So it looks like they kind of changed it here, but like he says he killed his creator and then he was hounded by, townspeople. And this is the typical universal scene, except for some reason, Doug McClure is the Burgomeister.
Yeah.
Or is that Peter Noon?
It really looks like Peter Noon to me. The teeth, that's Peter Noon.
Totally. That'd be a good series. Peter Noon, Burgomeister.
Burgomeister.
I would have watched that. All he does is run whenever a monster comes to the village. Anyway.
Do you speed up the film? Yeah.
Oh, Christ. So, yeah, we see Frankenstein like hiding from the villagers who are doing their rake and torch thing. And there's a nice panel here at the end where he's just saying in the end, he's ultimately alone and he's feared, hated, hunted, despised.
Like an animal.
And this is a nice panel of him in his fur jacket just wandering off from a village alone into nothingness of Eastern Europe or whatever. So that's the Mary Shelley's Frankenstein, a warped version that you kind of know between films and the novel. Let's hear about what Marvel has added since then.
So now we get the Marvel continuation of the novel. And it has the monster waking up in a chemical-filled coffin 100 years later. He's in a circus sideshow preserved in this chemical coffin, yet still alive, it says. And this young man accidentally revived him accidentally or intentionally. The monster no longer knows. And then it shows him breaking out of the glass coffin and, sadly walking away from the carnival. But then we get kind of a cool panel, but I almost feel like I've seen this exact layout before. Like this is a swipe almost.
Might be.
Of like something that we've seen in Werewolf by Night or maybe even in the Creatures on the Loose run. So
I think it's Creatures on the Loose. I think I know exactly what you're talking about, actually.
I honestly think it is.
I think it's in the last month or so. Yeah,
it was in, I think it was in the pre-Stargod issues. But so. We have to go back and look for that. But anyhow, it's this, it's kind of cool. It just kind of shows, different things happening in the monster's life. He battles with Dracula.
In his Marvel life. In his marvelous life.
Right. In his marvelous life. He battles with Dracula, has a friendship with a young boy named Ralph Caccione. And then
I love that the three things he lists: fighting Dracula,
I had a friend,
fighting a clone creature, and meeting a young Italian youth named Ralph Caccione. What the fuck is that?
Those are the three highlights of the Monsters Marvel career.
Oh my
he
God.
fights his clone that somehow has tusks, and
it's
he
so weird.
befriends a young Italian boy.
Well, maybe the creature clones. It's not a clone of him. Maybe it clones other ththings.
I've read
Maybe it's like the thing that shapeshifts.
I've read the Frankenstein's monster run, but not
all of
for
it?
a long time. I read it. I read it right around when I got Marvel Unlimited, like a couple years ago.
Okay.
And
what was your impression of it? I read the first 5 issues and just kind of trailed off when I bought that collection.
It was fine. I mean, it's not awesome. It's the Plug art is the best thing about it.
Oh God, yeah.
By far. So those, I would just read the Plug issues and forget everything else, but it didn't go on forever. I don't even think I don't know how many issues of that. I don't even know if are there 10 issues of that?
I
can't remember.
I think there is. I think it got dropped and then picked up and retitled shortly. And then I don't know. My collection also has some probably these issues in it and some other stuff. So it's kind of padded. Okay.
Yeah. I'm sure it's padded. So yeah, that's this is the second recap origin page, but this is all of his Marvel origin.
Right. So I do love on your page that we just talked about that the young man that revived him, maybe accidentally, maybe not, is very Dean Venture. Like he looks like if Dean Venture's like alter ego, like he has a wig on.
Yeah, he really does. From Escape to the House of Mummies.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so the next page, we get a weird, so this has been so defiantly out of continuity and for babies and everything. And then all of a sudden, Jerry just shifts gears hard, grinding, needle off the vinyl. He goes, wow, Frank, I'm not sure which one of us, he doesn't call him Frank, he says Mr. One of us is crazy and I'm not sure it's you. And he says, yesterday I would have laughed at this, but then, everything that's been going on in my life, like this Gwen Stacy clone coming back and blah, it's just like, whoa.
What?
It'd be funny if Frankenstein was doing the same, like, Frankenstein not need to know about dead girlfriend.
Not in continuity.
So he's like saying, I don't know what's real or reasonable anymore. So you're Frankenstein's monster. So now he seems to know the concept. It's as good as any explanation for what's been happening. And then when they hear a scream and they run over to look, and I think this is a mistake on the colorist part or maybe a cheeky fun thing, but the vapor coming out of Frankenstein's mouth in this one panel is green. And I don't know if that's to represent that he's a corpse that's just this fetid, rotting thing, or if it's just he's green, so let's make the vapor green. I don't know. Like green classically, like.
Yeah, I don't know. I noticed that too. It really made me laugh.
So they see this blonde lady, and she's surrounded by these guys, these skiing villains. So they look like Hydra, but in gray. And they just decide, without even speaking, to leap into action. So they jump off the cliff top, and there's this great panel of them just Spider-Man's jumping down and webbing somebody, and Frankenstein's monster is just about ready to drop all 350 pounds of himself onto some unsuspecting dude on skis, screaming as he does so. And Spidey punches another dude as he lands. So yeah, they're beating these dudes up, and then we get Jacob's page, where it's all gonna really make sense.
This is kind of the coolest twist of the whole issue, because there's a woman in distress as they're fighting, and she's about to fall. She starts to fall over. The cliff that she's standing on starts to break. She's like, my foot breaking away. And Frankenstein's monster's like falling, and grabs her, pulls her up. It's like, are you all right? Yes, I think so. For a big man, you move quickly, my friend. And then she's kind of like hemming and hawing, like all shucks, being like, wow, this isn't my day, is it? First those creeps, then that cliff. Give me a moment, okay? I gotta get my breath before I do this. And then she takes out a little canister and gasses them. And Spider-Man's like, gas, you're one of them. A trap. It was all a trap, and we fell for it. So yeah, that was my favorite move in the whole thing.
Yeah, that was a good surprise there.
She really was laying it on thick. Like even in the illustration, you can see her just kind of like kicking her foot and being like, "Oh shucks, I'm just a lady in distress. I don't have a gas canister."
Little old me.
Yeah.
Chapter 3, to make a monster. This is the big conclusion here.
Yep.
13 blacked out minutes after the end of our last chapter, we see there's a roaring fire. We're indoors, some heavy curtains, big overbearing chair. And in that chair is the blonde who sprayed the gas in their faces. And on the floor is Frankenstein's monster and Spider-Man slowly kind of rousing from the gas stupor. And she says, "All right, gentlemen, you can stop pretending now. The sleep drug I sprayed you with wore off 2 minutes ago. I know you're trying to think of a way to attack me. Believe me, it's not necessary." And then I guess apparently they were actually bluffing. So
yeah,
Pete kind of pops up. It's like, "Huh? Are you kidding, lady? Maybe you don't remember what you did back on that cliff, but I do. Either you come across with an explanation or I," and she says, "Please don't get violent, Spider-Man. I assure you my intentions are honorable, even if my methods are not." And then she shows him her SHIELD ID. It says, "My name is Clemmer, and I'm an agent of SHIELD. Nick Fury assigned me to take this job. I was about to make my move when you cut in. Von Shtupf is a madman." And he's a dangerous madman with a plan for world domination, which we don't see enough.
Oh, man.
He wants to create an army of monsters, subhumans who can stand extremes of climate, who have supernormal powers. Apparently, the first one's Frankenstein's monster, and the second one's Spider-Man. In a word, he wants to combine your abilities into a monster supreme. Spidey says, "A monster supreme, eh? Sounds like an ice cream sundae." Okay, I get the picture. Van Shtupf is a wacko, and you want to put him in a padded cell. Need help? And again, there's one of those panels where it's just Spider-Man talking to a surprise SHIELD agent with Frankenstein's monster looming over him, listening to the conversation intently to find out if he's going to be involved in saving the world.
Yeah, but this whole time,
one of those moments.
She's basically just reclining in a lounger, basically swirling brandy as she's talking to him.
And petting a cat that she should have.
Yeah. And Agent Clemmer, SHIELD Agent 324, this is her only appearance as well.
Really?
Yep.
So I read this page and looked at the art. Wow, the middle row depictions of Clemmer are very 50s, like late golden age.
It's very golden age. It's weird. I had the exact same
it's not
thought.
an insult.
Where I was just like,
no, wow, are you just tracing earlier work you did, guys? Like,
it's weird. Like, it's a stylistically weird thing. Like Marvel Comics ladies haven't looked like that in many years. They haven't looked like that since the Atlas era.
Yeah, the end of the Atlas, like early 60s. Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's a trip.
It's weird.
Like, Sue Storm would never be drawn like this, even. Like,
yeah, no, this makes me doubt her existence. Like, maybe she's just some kind of weird fever dream for the monster and Spider-Man.
So my two questions after this page were, do you have a brother named Simon Stroud? And are you married? Because you're pretty in a golden age way, so I am automatically in love with you regardless of your tactics or your morals.
Well, yeah, that's what makes golden age ladies so great. And she definitely could be related to Simon Stroud, though. Same color palette, same everything.
Yep.
Yeah. So I love this. So then on the next page, the monster volunteers to lead the charge. But I like that Spider and Clemmer convince him. They're like, "Stealth isn't your strong suit, buddy." Trying to like break it to him gently. And I like that Spider-Man's like, don't feel bad about it, fellow. We're probably doing you a favor. And Frankenstein's like, yes, a favor. And then I love the panel next. The next panel is great. Like, that's another action panel that I love so much. That should be a
t-shirt, am I right? Just out of context.
I would love that fucking panel as a t-shirt. It's Clemmer looking badass, skiing, like going over a mogul, and Spidey's swinging from the fir trees somehow.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I don't know how that works.
I know. I had the same issue.
So I'm like, ooh, I mean, you're really getting some velocity going with those Douglas firs. But yeah, I know. It's super goofy. But I love that panel. That's my other favorite panel. The panel of Spider-Man and the monster jumping out of that window, and this panel almost make this issue good for me.
Yeah, I wonder if if Sal was like, "What? Spider-Man skiing? That would look stupid. I'll just have him web slinging over the Alps."
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, man.
So yeah, and while they're doing this awesome pose, Spider-Man's like, Clemmer, I think we hurt the monster's feelings just now. And she's like, if we did, it can't be helped. The mission is the important thing. Nothing else matters. Like, maybe she is related to Simon Stroud.
That's what I'm saying.
I think they're brother and sister. I think we should make that canon.
Headcanon.
But yeah, so the monster is kind of, he's I don't know if he's he's going out to help them, and he's thinking they think I will remain behind, but they are wrong. Perhaps I'm not as quick as they are.
And who does he look like in that last panel? Because that looks like one of those ones I was saying where it's like, oh, you just had a TV guide in front of you, didn't you, Vinny?
I don't know. Who do you think?
I don't know. Like,
he does look. He does have a very Jack Klugman. It's Jack Klugman all the way.
Or not Quincy. I mean, oh shit, I'm totally forgetting the name of an old doctor show. It'll come to me later.
Okay, but you're right. He does look like Vinny just was bored or watching TV. Which I mean, Jack Kirby did that a lot too.
Mm-hmm.
Just was watching the TV and put it on the page.
Coloring wise, they've been good about making him like Tombstone.
No, he's
with blue shadow and chalk white flesh, and this last one he's just straight up blue, like a dollar store Frankenstein toy.
Yeah, it's
cold.
Silly.
I get it.
Yeah.
So he follows Clemmer's tracks and says, they'll need me. They're gonna need me. They're gonna put me in coach. And we cut to the rooftop of this castle that Clemmer and Spider-Man are at, and they're looking down and they see a bunch of guards, and she's like, "Can you take care of them quietly?" And he's like, "Lady, I'm Spider-Man." And then so yeah, he shoots these webs down, knocking the gun somehow kind of predating my boy Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly. He has like impact webbing that somehow hits these guards from behind and seems to knock them out. And then he shoots another web stream down, and it lands on this dude's face, and he yanks him up. And I was thinking, this is Jerry Conway. Like, does he not remember Snap?
No.
Just webbing somebody's head or feet and just yanking them up a building.
Webbing their lips. You tore the guy's lips off.
Didn't work for Gwen.
No, it did not work well for Gwen. But, yep, that's pretty 6-panel page.
Yep.
Pretty simple. Getting the job done.
Very Spidey super stories.
Yeah, for sure. But then I like this, like Spidey's showing off to Clemmer like he's a 10-year-old boy. She's like, "What about getting inside, web slinger? That window's awfully high." He's like, "Are you kidding, kid? Watch." Goes up and says, "Fwoop," which I thought was, I don't know. Do you see that one very much?
Fwoop?
Spelled
Fwoop?
Fwoop.
No,
yeah. Fwup. But yeah, double F W U P.
Fwup. No,
that one was fine. He's like, goes up and swinging them around. She's like, he says, "Rule number 1 in the superhero biz, always make sure your transportation." Me, I made sure by inventing my web shooters. Could we just drink every time Spider-Man just explains one of his fucking powers? I'm drinking.
Right on.
Yeah, and so then they're back to whispering. You got to admit, it's your basic multi-purpose doodad. And I like that she actually responds correctly. She's like, "Can we talk about your scientific genius later, masked man?" She's just like, "Shut the fuck up about who you are and what you can do. Like, we came here to do a job, remember?" Spidey's like, "Yeah, I remember, but who says a job can't be fun?" Then I like that he obviously doesn't get a laugh, so he's like, "Never mind, let's go inside."
I think that he's confident, he's having a good time, and she's just she's a no nonsense agent. He's like, all right.
She's a no nonsense agent that still looks like she's from a Miss Fury story in 1947.
Right.
Oh man. So yeah, then the monster has shown up, and I think it switches to Len. A little editor's note says spider person. Oh, no. Okay, I got to go with this. So why? Okay, how do you pronounce the word?
Surus?
Surus, yeah.
Oh, I don't know how you say it. Or
Surus, I think.
I don't know.
Yeah. But Spidey had said, "Never mind, let's go inside before someone else pops up to give us Surus. And then Len says, "Spider person, you must be a psychic." And then a little editor's asterisk that says, what you call your Yiddish for pain in the butt, from Len. It's a weird sentence. What you call your Yiddish.
Yeah. That doesn't quite make sense, but I know what he's trying to say.
Yeah, I know what he's trying to say. What is it?
I like this last panel of Frankenstein entering the grounds, going through the gate by the wall.
Yeah, that panel is actually pretty cool. I like the coloring on it. I like a lot of that stuff. Yeah, it's simple and really cool.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing that bigger. And the like you said, the not monochromatic, but like the adjacent color scheme of blue and purple.
It's cool.
So Frankenstein enters the castle. He finds some unconscious guards, and he thinks something is wrong. Not enough guards. Oh, sorry. Something is wrong. Not enough guards. Breaking in was too easy for them. So he opens the door. There's a loud noise, loud squeaking of the hinges, and then he hears Baron Ludwig von Shtupf's voice. He says, "I knew I could depend on you." The Baron snarls somewhere down a winding corridor. At first, Frankenstein's monster ignores the Baron's words and instead attacks a group of guards, which I thought that was a weird... This confused me both times I read this.
I know.
They're standing they're in an anteroom outside of the Baron's lab, and he jumps them and knocks them out. And then the voice continues. He hears the Baron talking. "While you were gone, I engaged another specimen in the same manner I captured you. We needn't speak about my method, of course, only the effect of what I've done. And the effect is this." And meanwhile, Frankenstein's stalking closer and closer to the lab door. "I now have the subjects I require, you and my new prisoners, and at last I'm ready to begin." The Baron's voice comes from yonder door.
From yonder door.
And then we turn big ending.
We turn the page. This is the big ending, last page. The first two panels are the monster opening the door and looking in. And then he goes in, sees the chamber. We see finally there is John Jameson as Man-Wolf in his classic squirt onesie. And the monster maker, Baron von Shtupf, is saying, "Enter, my friend, enter. Our cast is now complete. I have my original subject as well as my replacement subject. What a monster I'll make now, eh?" Oh my God. He says, "Monster of Frankenstein."
Between the last time we saw him and now.
Oh my God. Yeah, he is super jacked. He says, "Monster of Frankenstein, you already know the infamous Spider-Man. Allow me to introduce a friend of his, Man-Wolf." And then the bottom narration says, "Pilgrim, if you think this is wild, wait till you see next issue when..." That goes to the teaser. The Man-Wolf makes 3.
Wow.
Oh, this is such a bad issue. It's so bad. I mean, I enjoy it. I enjoy poking fun at it. I think there's some cool panels, but it's such a fucking ridiculous issue.
Yeah. I think sometimes we get spoiled on stuff like Kraft and Perez.
Well, I think, yeah, I knew this was going to happen, and it has been entertaining, and it has been fun to go through this, but I knew that, the chasm of quality from fucking Star God Saga of Marvel Premiere 45 and 46 to this, ooh, man, that's rough.
We talk about it a lot, but I think we forget, because we don't actually jump back into the other end of the pool that much, how real and how distinct it was that the lesser offerings were.
Jeez, talk about lesser.
I talk about it a lot, but it's more of an academic sense, not an experiential sense. I really experienced it my ass off today.
Yeah, no, this is a very experiential issue. And Man-Wolf looks like shit.
He looks like he's got mange.
It just looks terrible. And it was sad to see... Yeah, the original
His
costume.
nose wasn't even colored in inked in black, which would have made him look less like a dog with scabies.
Oh my God. Yeah.
If they just colored his nose black, I could live with it. But now he looks like a diseased jackal.
Oh man, this issue. Yeah, I liked Agent Klemmer. I liked Baron von Shtupf.
The name, Baron Ludwig von
Shtupf. Yeah, there's some funny shit in this, but the art is not my favorite. I'm not saying it's bad. It's not bad, but it is not my favorite. Story's pretty slight. There's some funny lines. 2 panels I really liked. So yeah, this was rough.
It was pretty rough.
Fun though. I like talking about shitty comics with you. It's fun to do.
The first time I again was groaning. The second time I was like, okay, this is fun, and I was like making notes, of some little snarky things, and then talking about you, obviously, talking about it with you. I mean, it's always entertaining. So I enjoyed it. It's weird how inconsistent it is. Like, again, just randomly channeling Golden Age women for 2 panels, like.
So
made
weird.
It fun.
I'm glad you thought the same thing, because I don't know. I get stuck in Golden Age a lot, like, and my wife, all she reads is Golden Age comics. So, I mean, I thought it was just me, though. It was just like, what the fuck?
No, it felt like one of them tracing themselves, like just digging around in a drawer and like being like, okay, this Clemmer broad, what is she's a blonde? She good looking? Yeah. Got it.
Yep. Got it. I drew that in Mystic 21. I can go back and swipe from myself on that.
So this was so bad that we decided to use cannabis, in case you guys have been wondering if we're a little rambly. It helped.
It helped a lot.
But I did all my preparation sober, so I'm legitimate. So this one, I thought it'd be fun to jump ahead and like find like the letters column talking about it. And there isn't one just about this one, but there is a letters column talking about 36 and 37, which we'll be talking about next week with a guest. Why don't you briefly talk about who that guest is going to be and how you know them?
Yeah, so we're going to have artist Greg Bigoni on, who's a great friend of mine. He's grew up in Portland. We can all share our Ramblin' Rod stories. So he's an old school Portland guy. Really great guy, an amazing artist. And he has this style that is very, maybe reminiscent of Jack Davis. It's very Mad magazine centered, but a more kind of modern take on it. And he's amazing. And he's started to do it full time since the pandemic, and has just been drawing and doing all these different things. He did this whole series of drawings about each Friday the 13th movie. And he did this whole show that was all of them. And people have really loved them. And, he's made cards of them. People who, someone from one of the Friday the 13th movies, the director, like wanted to use one of his illustrations as like his profile pic on Facebook or something. And just like, he got all this really cool, exposure from doing all these horror movie things, but he's really a mad guy. He loves Jack Davis, loves Sergio Aragonés, and so he does these. A lot of his stuff is film based, actually, and so he just did a piece that was it was like, what if Mad Magazine did a satire on Nashville, on Altman's Nashville, and he did this cover. It's just amazing. And so he's a great friend of mine. He loves comics. He read a lot of comics when he was little, mainly Spider-Man stuff. We'll talk about it. We'll talk to him about it. He's not a super expert on comics, but loved them as a kid, and is a Mad Magazine obsessive. And I think he's a wonderful artist, and he'll fit right in. He's a funny guy.
I'm sure. And Jack Davis is one of those artists who's just like, I think everybody respects him and his contributions, but when you meet somebody who's like, that's the first artist they reference as like their inspiration, like that's a kindred spirit. Like they love the same stuff you love.
Yeah, they get it. No, you're right. Jack Davis is a shorthand for like what your personality is.
Yep.
And
totally.
And right. If someone was into Jack Davis, you instantly know that you're going to agree with them on like 99% of stuff.
Yeah.
Which is how it was when I met
edition.
Greg.
Yeah. I have I got that for Father's Day one year. It's like one of my favorite comics ever. It's also ridiculously huge, but I mean, you can see Jack Davis's art on the scale that he drew it. I mean, it's amazing on the boards. Anyway, I'm stoked to meet this guy. How'd you meet him?
We worked at we worked together for a little while, and then we just became really good friends. It seemed like we were kind of around each other a lot. Like, he's one of the guys that I talked to that I didn't know, but we were literally at like 50 of the same shows.
Okay. That seems pretty easy in Portland, but
it's pretty easy in Portland, but it was weird how many. Like, it's easy to meet someone and be like, oh, I was at 4 or 5 different shows with you, but with Greg, it's probably around 30.
Wow. Okay. That's a lot.
It's a lot. So yeah, I'm very excited to have him come on. So yeah, did you want to read some of that letter column now, or save some of it, or let's read it a little bit now.
I think I'll read some and I'll get your feedback here. There's a handful of letters, 2 or 3, talking about issues 36 and 37. So let's go with 1. People, emergency, the sound of ringing bells. Prepare this magazine for. Oh, that's not a comment. That's a. Prepare this magazine for immediate revision. Orderly, contact Supervisor Ween and Dr. Conway. I want them in revision room 38A. Nurse, prepare all tools. And I want those pins sterilized. And bring erasers, hordes of them. You there, are you a relative? No, sir, I'm a subscriber. Well, son, you have a sick friend. What's wrong with him, Doc? Please tell me that MTU won't fold? That depends, son. Your friend is pretty bad off. He's suffering from a case of acute plot deficiency. But I thought... Yes, you thought he was doing rather well, eh? Haven't you noticed that since issue number 21, all the way through number 37, his plot content has been dangerously low? And his character development is approaching critical. But how? He's caught in a syndrome, son. A type of show syndrome. Much show and action and little central thought. Hero meets villain, then destroys villain. It all takes place in one issue, a one-nighter, with a weak plot draped over. Can we help him? Only with an immediate transfusion of plot and character. This will destroy future one-nighters and promote a growth of good, healthy, continuing stories, as well as provide him with a backbone from which character development will almost certainly grow. But for now, we can only wait. That's from R. Hundermark from Rockville, Maryland.
Oh, man.
That's the long one.
But, thank God that's the long one.
Yeah, that was
because that was long.
I know. I mean, figured he wrote dialogue, for God's sake.
He wrote dialogue, and it was funny for like the first 45 seconds. And I was just like, oh, God. Yep. Do you suffer from APD?
Yeah. All right. Dear R, well, by now MTU has, we hope, had its transfusion of all the prerequisites you feel it needed to become once more a strong and healthy addition to the Marvel lineup. Bill, Sal, Mike, et al. Are putting their all into making it more than just a team-up magazine. They'd all like to hear what you think of it, Doctor. Here's a short one. Dear Jerry, Sal, Vince, and Marv, MTU's 36 and 37. Well, not bad, but you've heard this 1,000 times. The plot seems to be always the same. Meet 'em, chase 'em, catch 'em. For once, why don't you guys do something different? Anything. Please. It'll make your mag much better. Bill Calais, Delta, BC, Canada.
Yeah. I mean, I never thought Marvel Team Up was, a highbrow book, but it must have really been slipping. I mean, This is bad. These issues are bad.
Yeah, but I mean, I went back several letters pages, and this is the peak of okay, they admit, I think they brought Mantlo in to start writing it and got Jerry off of it. I'm not sure if that's right. Let me see. There's one more, also short. Marv, Jerry, etc., etc. Let me say, here you have one schlep of a mag. MTU. Please be from. Oh, he's from Virginia. Okay. Mav, Jerry, etc., etc. Let me say here, you have one schlep of a mag. MTU is monotonous. The plot hasn't changed for about 2 years. Heroes team up, go after villain. Villain captures heroes and sentences them to death by some fantastic means. Heroes escape by a miracle, thrash villain into ground. After a few issues of this, one runs down to the newsstand and buys all the competition mags money can purchase to get away from such boring writing. They have it too. So we're left with the out of shooting ourselves and costing you readers. Okay.
That doesn't make any sense.
So the only alternative they have is to shoot themselves and deprive the publishers of customers.
I feel like we've entered some other dimension in this episode. I really do.
This is from Kirk O'Brien from Charlottesville, Virginia.
Okay.
And the response was, I think we get the hint, gang, but don't quit on MTU. As the last 4 issues have shown, change is the direction of the future. With continuing stories, heroes teamed up for more than one issue, and more surprises than you're likely to find almost anywhere. Stay with us, friends. Okay, so I know what these last 4 issues were.
Okay.
And it was an ongoing story. It was Spidey gets transported back to the Salem witch trials with Vision and Scarlet Witch. So the first team up is Vision, the second one's Scarlet Witch, and then somehow Moondragon comes back to like save them. So it is different guest stars each issue, but they're just extending a story that was going on that was really weird looking.
Okay.
So they answered some of their concerns. Like, can't these things not just be one and dones? But it looks like it was still pretty dumb, but just kept going.
Yeah. Yeah, like this one. Goes for 2 issues, but it's pretty dumb.
Yeah. I don't know. So
people weren't happy. People knew that, I don't know, but they were happy with the book before, but then they're just like, I don't know. It's just more of the same.
I don't know. The impression I've kind of got from just scanning some other columns is just like, I thought we were past this now. Like, it was okay at first. We thought maybe it was going to be better. And you're just going like lowest common denominator. So I think I'm going to drop it. Kind of the vibe I got.
Gotcha. So now we'd like to give a shout out to our Pack Brothers and Pack Sisters that support us on the highest tier on Patreon. Fine folks such as Michael G.,
Tim Tucker,
Brian from Marvel by the Month,
Josh Link,
Jeff Fitzpatrick,
Caleb,
Ben M.,
Michelle from Moonlit Comics,
Mark Nivens,
Rob Haferman,
Russ from Tomes of Evil,
Eric Hadley,
Brad L. Moore,
Johnny Turner,
Jackson T. Overstreet,
Tony Iupi,
Jared C.,
Brink,
and Ryan from Across the Bifrost.
Thanks for the support, folks. All right. Well, yeah, thanks for listening to us ramble and blather on a little bit. That was it was a fun episode, though, to blather about.
It was fun to
issue.
blather on this episode, for sure. It was a fun issue to do that with. Big difference from the Star God epic that we had covered in previous episodes. But this, yeah, you're right. This will be a nice little palate cleanser. We'll do these 2 Marvel team-ups, then we're going to do 3 issues of Amazing Spider-Man, and then we will eventually get back to Otherworld, though, for 2 issues, it seems like.
That's
with Craft.
Yeah, that's my brass ring that I'm just reaching for.
Yeah, so it's coming. A few episodes from now, we're going to be back in Otherrealm in the issues 13 and 14 of Savage She-Hulk. So we're going to have some great guests on for those episodes. And
I'm also excited for the ASM titles. I guess I'm really just not looking forward to Marvel Team Up 37. But
no, that's why we're having
at least our character will be there.
Yep, and we will have a guest. We'll have another person to wade through the shit.
And I don't mean to talk down, because I laughed a lot tonight and had a good time.
Yes.
So that's good.
Nope, it was fun.
Cool. Well, thanks for listening. Please join us on the bonus show. You can do that by going to patreon.com/werewolf by night podcast and supporting us. We do a special weekly show every single week. So we're always talking about comics, movies, music, our lives, but in a good way.
Yeah, but in a good way.
So yeah, check that out. This week we're going to talk about a Norwegian film from 2017 called Valley of Shadows. And Jacob's going to talk about Trainer Robbins, a book that he's bringing to the table there to talk about. And I'm just going to tell a little story about childhood, but in a good way.
Yeah, all of this is in a good way. Yeah, and we're always looking for reviews on Apple Podcasts. Matt, we got a 3-star review.
Yep, that's probably my fault.
Yeah, I still think we're going to get review bombed from Comics Gate people that you've picked fights with.
I said I was stopping. Remember? And I did stop for like a week.
At least a week, yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's me using our account to troll.
to
Comics
to
get
troll.
people.
Why you got to troll incels? Because it's fun to troll incels. That's why.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I wouldn't mind a couple 5-star reviews to offset some
Yeah,
of
please.
the review bombing that Matt is getting us into.
It's a fire sale. Hey, tell them what they get if they leave a 5-star review. What happens?
Oh my God! Well, if you get a 5-star review, if you take a screenshot of it and send it to us, I will send you real Werewolf by Night buttons made
Genuine.
from actual. Yeah, what was that?
Genuine.
Yeah, they're genuine buttons made from issues of Werewolf by Night that I shop up and put into button form, and I'll mail you a pack of those.
Gladly.
Yeah, gladly.
So
So
do
yeah,
it.
that's I would do it.
We got
I
more
already have a
listeners, but
bunch.
not more reviews.
Yeah. No, we've been getting more listeners. We've been getting more patrons. It's only looking up, my friend.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
All right. Well, join us on that bonus show. Otherwise, we will see you here next week to talk to Jacob's friend Greg about Marvel Team Up number 37 and Baron Ludwig von Shtupf.
Shtupf.
Oh, I can't believe it's the end of him. I'm going to drink to him,
I know. We're definitely going to drink to him.
even if he doesn't die.
Yeah.
All right, folks. Till we meet again, neath the full moon, furry ones. Here's howling at ya.